Hi, my name's Lindy Cowling. Welcome to my channel. My website is www.lindycowling.co.uk, email info@lindycowling.co.uk. Title of this impromptu video this morning is Does Love Hurt? Does love hurt? The reason I'm bringing this video out today is it is a very common question that I get asked, and I also get asked this by people that don't understand what, for example, twin flame union is, and when you explain it to them, they say, well, if it's a love, why is there so much pain in it, and why does love hurt? So let's start from the top, from the, let's say, the higher perspective. We can only use the language that we have as human beings to articulate and explain certain aspects, certain things. That's part of being human. So we can only use the equipment, if you like, the tools that we've got to do this. So let's put it this way. The highest octave in terms of sound and frequency and vibration that we can experience or embody as human embodiment, as human beings, at the very top is the octaves of joy and the octaves of love. And these are octaves of joy and love with no connotations of anything else on them, meaning they are at their simplistic purity, absolute purity. Pure love, some people call it divine love, pure love, divine love, bliss, all the same thing. Joy, absolute joy. With nothing else on it, no negative connotations, no belief systems, no old energy, none of this stuff on it, just that purity. These frequencies or octaves are the highest we can attain and feel and experience and live as human beings on this planet. So if we come in, shall we say, we come into embodiment as pure consciousness, pure spirit, we can come down through these octaves, which are, let's say, in a divine way, kind of remembered by us. But as we come down still further into in human vessels and as souls, there is a little bit of divine amnesia goes on. And we kind of spend a lifetime or many lifetimes trying to find our way back to the octaves of love and joy on a soul level and on a heart level. So we can spend a lifetime or lifetimes trying to find this. And how we find this is a number of different paths and a number of different journeys, shall we say. But one of the most common ways of finding it is through our interaction and interplay of consciousness, of experience of life with other people, because they are golden mirrors and projectors and reflectors for us, and we are for them. So we get to dig deep, and we get to look, and we get to learn, and we get to uncover not only what the true meaning of love is and all the different aspects of love, but that in the very end we uncover, as that divine amnesia is kind of released, as we get that awareness and realization over a period of time, that we are in fact these octaves of joy and love. And as we return to them in the heart, we find that not only is that a state of unified completion, wholeness within, complete balance within, totally in the heart, but that we don't just plateau there, but we can keep expanding, opening up like a flower within that band, within that consciousness. and that we can still increase and still elevate our awareness, our perception, our life experience. We can co-create within that life experience, be active, conscious participants in that experience. Because at the moment, the bulk of reality are unconscious in their experience. So it doesn't mean they're walking around with their eyes shut, but in a way they are, because they feel that they're fully conscious and in charge, but in fact they're not, because most of their life is governed by their programming, what they've been programmed with. So in answer to the question, does love hurt? It's not the love that hurts. The love never hurts because it's an octave, a frequency. It is you at your very heart. And it really is the bulk of humanity. Anyone that truly has a heart, that has that purity in it. Now, you may wonder why I use the word the bulk of humanity. Not all of humanity come out of the same melting pot and have the same kind of frequencies and agendas, shall we say. But the bulk of humanity, you can find within them that love, that purity, that joy, shall we say. So it's not the actual love that hurts. It's the perceived loss of it, or the betrayal of it, the taking away of it. Now you could say to me, well, it's not perceived if my wife ran off with the guy down the street. That is a genuine betrayal, that is a genuine loss, and of course it is. And you're going to feel that. You're going to feel that because we're human beings, and you're going to feel that in your pain body, in your emotional body, in your mental body, and that's going to suck for a bit. And that's one level of, let's say that, so I say one level, that is the main level really that hurts. The very human perspective of it, that loss, that betrayal or abandonment, somebody losing someone that dies, that passes over. And that is one level of it. And actually that's the kicker level of it, because that's the level that really so many of us get caught up in. We get caught up in that loop of loss, or betrayal, of abandonment, all those big ones, and we get caught in that, and it can be over a period of time until we take the opportunity, because we have the opportunity to, let's say, go that one step higher, not to bypass it, but to take it home to the love that you are, that we are, at heart, that octave, that frequency. Does it take away, you're going to ask me, from the actions of someone that you have loved or that you do love that has hurt you in some way? They are no longer in your life and they are absent. I think we have to give that validity to that, because that is something that has happened, but it can never take away from the purity of you. So if you have been in a situation where that has happened to you, and it has happened to many people lose people through death, through betrayal, through marriages coming down, partnerships coming down. It's increasingly common as the old paradigm, the old way of relating is falling down and the new way of relating is coming in. If you're someone that has happened to, I think we have to honour those real true emotions and the real true meaning of that for you. But the purpose of this video is just, in answer to the question, does love hurt? It's not actually the energy of the love that hurts, or the purity of the love that hurts, that frequency, that octave that you came in as and that you are at heart. It's the, let's say, the actions taken under that umbrella, the actions taken within that umbrella. So when you're in partnership or relationship or marriage or something to someone else. And what really hurts is the perception of the loss of that. And on one level, there is a loss of that. If the person's no longer with you because they've passed over, or the person has walked out of your life, or you've walked out of their life, or there has been betrayal, or whatever the circumstances are, on one level there is loss, because they are physically absent from your life. But the purity of the love that you are inside of you, that essence, that divine essence that you are, the octave, the frequency of love and joy that you always were, and then you've had divine amnesia about it, and you spend a lifetime or lifetimes finding your way back to that purity, is still there and always was there and will always be there. Love doesn't hurt. Actions taken under that umbrella of love and what we perceive love to be and our feelings for one another can hurt. Through your journey or through your journeys in this lifetime or lifetimes, you have the opportunity to, regardless of those circumstances, not break down, but to break open, to break free, and to realize that despite those circumstances going on around you, nothing can take away from that purity, that octave, that frequency of love and joy that you are in your heart, at heart. We have an opportunity in our emotional bodies, our pain bodies, which are our biggest kickers. They are our biggest way of expressing and being in human form, and yet so many of us get tangled up in it. There's a golden opportunity to transform, really, by a process of inner alchemy, whatever circumstances you are living or have lived through, to come into the higher perspective of you. I don't just mean a higher perspective mentally, I mean a higher perspective in vibration and frequency. When people have tragic events happen to them, and it happens all over this planet all the time, people fall into two camps. There are those that are broken down by it and come down, and there are those that break through over it. They transform, they transcend through a process of inner and outer alchemy, and they come through it more compassionate than they were before that event, more complete, more unified, more whole, more compassionate, more loving, more in the heart than they were before they ever went into it. That is taking the higher step, really, into your higher self, your higher form, or choosing to take a lower octave expression. So it doesn't mean one's better than the other, it just means different choices, and we all make different choices at different points in our timelines and different points in our lives, depending on where we're at. And some people choose suffering, and they didn't mean to choose suffering, but they choose suffering, or they get looped in suffering and they go down that trajectory. It is true to say that there are many twists and turns in our lives, and all of them are opportunities for growth. And sometimes it's really difficult. There are people I work with that have lost everything at the moment. They've lost everything to the events globally, or they've lost someone they love, or there's been a big change of circumstances around them. Now, as you know, on this channel, it's an experiential channel, so I share what I work with, what I've worked through, and many of those things have happened to me in my life. I could have also gone left instead of going right and said, to hell with it all. That's it. Chuck it all in. If this is spirituality, you can keep it. Many people on that route have said it, and I've even said it and thought it over the years. But you have a choice. Every day you have a choice. Do you turn away from love, or do you turn into it? Do you turn away from it, or do you turn into it? Because that frequency and joy, there's hardly a pin between them. Joy and love, that's like, we have to use the words we've got, are our highest expression of vibration in human vessel. Not just in a woo-woo way, almost in a scientific way, because it changes our blood chemistry, it changes our cells, it changes our perception, it changes our reality, it changes our frequency, it changes our vibration. It comes, or we come into a unified, balanced field of harmony, 0 point neutral harmony, which is a conscious, creative state of embodiment, which changes everything. If you choose that path, because not everyone will, don't worry. When you come back round another time, perhaps you'll choose it then. Or perhaps you'll choose it off planet, as consciousness off planet. But if you do choose that path, you will begin literally walking in your mastery, creating as you go along, creating your reality and drawing towards you more conscious creators so that you have conscious relationships, conscious reality, conscious change, without all the old gubbins on it, the old triggering, the old projection, all of that stuff on it any longer. You always have a choice. We all have a choice. And the decision ultimately is yours. To turn away from love or to turn into love. No one can take that away from you except you. If you decide to put your fingers in your ears and not turn into that, that's absolutely your decision. I mean, we've all done it. We've all done that over a period of our learning. But at the end of the day, no matter what circumstances you are in or have been in, and I know it's painful, and I know it sucks, and I know sometimes it brings you to your knees and you think you can't get up again. And you have to honour that because it's real and you're feeling it. But no one can decimate, destroy, or take away from the love that is truly you inside. The spirit that's you, the bliss that is you, the joy that's you, independent of all those other things. My hope for you, my wish for you, is that in the course of your journeys and in the course of your paths, you discover that for yourselves. Someone like me can just put it out there as someone who's experienced all those things and see it in clients all over the world. And I can have little signposts to direct you and say this way is a little bit easier than that way, or why don't you try this? But at the end of the day, you're the ones that have to do it. You have to take that walk. You have to choose to go left or right. You have to choose the higher perspective of you. You have to choose love, or you have to turn away from it. Life gives you plenty of opportunities to turn away from it, I can tell you. I have had umpteen opportunities to turn away from life and turn away from love. Umpteen. And every time I have chosen love. Every single time. My wish for you is that you choose the same. That you choose to go into your heart. because that authentic heart is full consciousness, alters your reality, alters your perception, alters your life experience, means you're a co-creator in your mastery. And it means you become the living, walking embodiment of you in your fullest expression. No longer a seed, but a flower. Very philosophical video for 10 o'clock in the morning, this end. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, from my heart to yours, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for resonating. Thanks for all those that have donated to this channel. I will love you and leave you. I hope to be back on camera next week. I am filming with the authenticity process from Australia. Really looking forward to that and what comes of that. I'm also on the radio again in America with Om Times Radio, the Inspired Living Show with Kimberly Falcon. That would be next Wednesday. I believe that is morning time in America or lunchtime in America, depending on where you are in America. That's Om Times Radio. That's the Inspired Living Show. It will be a link to it on my website, and you will be able to find it under those headings. And that show will be all about the authentic soul, how to come into the authentic soul that you are, that we are. I love you and leave you. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.